So what I may do is we may just do like snippets here. Oh, we do snippets here and then kind of go through and I'll do the edits and take the snippets and turn them into a cohesive video. So just a quick walkthrough of what this does is we have a Google form connected and it's supposed to be an acid watch. I never seem to get the acids to work right, so I have it set to run every so often, which uses up a little bit of operational credit, but we're about to resolve that challenge. It runs through an OpenAI assistant or chat completion, rather, in this case, that gives a system prompt so that we can have the output that we want from the user input from the form. And then our system emails it to you so that you get a copy, but it also goes out in my sent mail so that I can access that and be able to apply it to anybody's system, AI systems that they buy through us without having to have them do it over and again or send it to me. So what that looks like in practice is, oh, let's go back to our questions. Well, I guess I need to go to the preview version. Oh, hold on. There's always the things with, and of course that's in my way. Let's get a link. Let's go open it in a different tab. Ignore this part for me. Oh, what the hell? It's been a day already. All right. Why did it not give me a proper form link? And why is this always in my way? Why is everything when I share my screen always in the way of the things I need? All right.
It doesn't look like that's actually enabled, the email part. It's probably because that's taken from the user that uses the form.
Right. But I should be able to just get, oh, here we go. Silly Justin. Okay. So we're just going to copy that link. We're going to go open it in a different Google account. Paste it in here. And it should, there we go. Okay. So we're going to switch that account. We're going to switch it to the Edge AI staffing. And we'll go input real quick. Company name. Let's go with bikes, just because we can. Our AI's name, we are going to name it Louie.
Yeah.
We work in the manufacturing industry. Our target audience is uh, shipping providers. Specific challenges or goals. Now, in my form, I did not clarify that we're talking about the goals, the challenges that you solve. So I actually have several people who've put in like the challenges they have, which is
Mm.
kind of funny because it gives a weird response. So
Okay.
we solve expensive and space consuming vendor products. And then product or service offered, reduced space, affordable shipping products. Objective of the call is to book a demo. Common objections to happy with current provider. Anything else? No. So we'll submit that. And now if we go back over to our make automation, we'll see it's
Mm-hmm.
actually already running.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to that email account, it's taking a sweet time. I did use the email account. Hmm. Let's go look at.
I mean, it's fair enough. We're going to sort this out anyway. So you're sending the email essentially just to get it to the user and also for the record on your side.
Right. And actually, I could even go look in that make automation. One of my favorite things about a make automation says it's completed. I can always go and take a look. Oh, interesting. It doesn't look like it actually ran the with the new information.
Hmm.
So we'll just go ahead and give it a quick run. There we go. Like I said, the acid, the auto triggers never seem to want to work for me.
Hmm.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a make error or if that's a just an error. But as you can see, we go in here and we can take a quick look at the content.
Hmm.
And now it gives us, you are Louis, an AI sales representative for Vikes, a company specializing. And then it gives you all of this context that you can feed into. I feed it into an OpenAI assistant because that's the easiest way for us to call it within our systems. But you could feed it into a GPT, through your standard model and get some inputs or information on how to sell.
Hmm.
Now, with all of this, we went ahead and sent the blueprint. Oh, we sent the blueprint to John George there, and we export the blueprint, exports it into a JSON file. And
Hmm.
then you can import that JSON file into your development. And now, John George, if you want to take over and kind of
Sure.
show us where we
So
go
yeah,
from here.
so the reason that we're doing this is that Justin's system prompt transformed an agent I was building into quite a excellent salesperson. So we're going to try and build a tool that can replicate that functionality so that we can extend it to something quite cool. So let's open WinSurf, my favorite IDE at the moment. Okay, so we're going to need to actually start a new project. So let me just create a new folder in my dev directory. I'm going to call this salesbot prompt flow. Don't worry that you can't see this. I'm going to open it in WinSurf now. Open a folder. Could have just done the new directory here, but actually salesbot. Let's rename this, can we? That'll be the name of the project then. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so now,
And then you
now
need to just import that JSON file into it, of course.
indeed. So I'll create my docs directory. Normally, when I'm working on a project, I like to have a few documents, and those would be the functional requirements, the architecture proposal, and a roadmap. But for this, I'm just going to get it to analyze this and put a little roadmap together so that we can do this quickly. Just speed. So let's have a little look here. Please read the make.com scenario in salesbot prompt. And in the docs directory, write me a roadmap. And this is going to briefly summarize the workflow in the make scenario and propose a solution in next.js 15 with ShadCN UI components. We're just going to make a simple form. Users can provide their OpenAI API key to get their new system prompts. Okay, so let's see, include timescales in your roadmap. Let's see what it does. Examine the make the prompt scenario. So it's going to figure out what's going on. And then it's going to make its little roadmap. So I do this in order to keep track of the project as I'm going through, because I want to actually keep the whole project in mind, because Otherwise, with these generative tools, they can generate quite a lot of code and get away from you, and you end up just, it's a nightmare of debugging. Like stuff like Replit Agent, Cursor Composer, Bolt New will very much do a lot of work for you before you get a chance to get into it. Whereas this one, you can interrupt it at will. So it's very cool. So for, yeah, collect this information, process it, GPT, send it to email to the user. Okay. Types of ShadCN, project structure, set up environment variables. We don't need environment variables. Design and maintain fields. Yep. Implement form validation. Yep. Create API endpoint. We don't want to do that. So what it has done is it's thinking that we're going to have a client server architecture here. I want everything to essentially be on the client with no server endpoint, right? Which means that we aren't going to be using our API key, having them send the stuff to us and we run it. They provide their own. And since they're providing their own, it should just stay on their client. Right? So let me just ask the bot. I don't want to use environment variables or create any API endpoint for this. We want everything run on the client with the sensitive info saved in local storage. And also the form data saved in local storage and the generated outputs. Don't actually need to get the spelling right, but just have it. So let's see if it adjusts. It's having a little think this time, apparently.
That's okay. We all need time to think once in a while.
Yeah, takes its time
Although, to be
sometimes.
fair, the
I think
AI,
it's,
the artificial intelligence, isn't really all that intelligent yet. So it might take some time to think, but it's getting better.
yeah. I mean, it does quite well. I think it's just maybe there's a bit of use going on because WinSurf's pretty popular right now. Um,
Yeah, they are going to need to upgrade their capacity limits.
okay, let's just stop and see if I can revert and start again. Kick it off again. There we go. Simplified client-side approach using local storage. Perfect. So it has understood where I want to go. And this is really cool because you just get difference-based development, which is just like your normal development workflow. You can just look at the differences, see what's different running time on the client side. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so the total duration it thinks is going to be 6 working days to get this done now. So let's get going with this. Phase 1, basic setup in a day. All right.
I mean, I know YouTube's promoting long-term, long-form video, but 6 days of video content is,
Yeah, that's a lot. So it's going to create this. This might work because it's non-interactive NPX. Let's see. Nope. Let me answer no. Well, look, let's just stop you there. So I'm going to run it for you. Let's load up my own terminal window. Nope.
I got a private mechanic here working on the car.
Really? Okay, so this is now going to install the project. It's actually still setting up the project. There we go. Should work fine. So we're just trying to, yeah, just the correct command. Might have to look up the command for it. Yeah, okay. So no, we're done. Like, let me just find the ShadCN installation thing. Okay, so we're going to have a look here. ShadCN UI, where is yeah, ShadCN latest npm. Okay, so just this down here. We want components JSON. Yeah, okay, perfect. So now let's use New York style. I like slate. Yes, for use CSS. Use force. We've got components JSON. Looking good. Okay, so that's all set up. Okay. Okay, that's all set up. Let's now focus on building the main form to capture the information, including the API key. Just can't let that go. So anyway, right, so make sure this form is beautiful using the ShadCN design language and components. Dial the aesthetics up to 100. So I'm looking now for it to make a page with some components for the form. There we go, page TSX, perfect. This is the main page. And it's going to have to install some components. So actually, yep, okay, let me explain that the correct command is actually this. And you can just edit it. This, and you press enter twice, you can interrupt, and it maintains its context. It's a proper collaborative development experience, which is why this is what I've been waiting for. So I've
Let me
already,
ask you this. If we give it the correct command, does it remember that in later in
yeah,
other folders or only in this project?
um, not in other projects in my experience. It might
But
change
it will
that.
remember it in future iterations of this project.
Yes, perfect. Let's go.
Because I've had to do that a few times too. Like, no, you got the thing wrong. It's correct. The correct way is this way. It says it's going to be a Jedi and use the Force.
Haven't seen that error before, actually, so hope this works. It's gonna be interesting.
Well, the fun thing is when you like
A gradient style form.
as you're
Interesting.
fixing errors throughout the code, it if you tell it to make sure that fixing this error doesn't cause other errors, it might fix it that way. But if you don't, then you get a bunch of red dots like that.
Okay. So let's install some dependencies. Okay. So it says that it's made something beautiful. So let's just accept and run the project. So npm run dev. And now it's compiling. Take its sweet time, and then we'll open a browser. Yeah, actually, there's no way it's actually going to work. Yeah, this won't work, actually. Let me have a look. Component. Right, so actually we haven't installed the components because this part failed. So let me just cancel the run, install the components. Okay. And it's UI. Right, there we go. Now it's fixed. So now it's to npm run dev. Perfect. And that it's got caching going. So Chrome. Chrome is opening. There we go. Let's have a little browser console open. Ooh, wow, okay.
I like that.
I don't.
The lettering's a
Well,
little hard to see
it's
on
not,
that background, but
that's not bad for the first version though, to be fair. So the next thing I want to do is make it easy for us to test. So I want to make it so that the local storage is used to store all this so that if we refresh anything, I refresh it, it's going to remember it. So I'm just going to explain that to it now. But just first, I'm just going to check this in to version control, short form. So called checkpoint. So now I want to make it so that all the information in the form is stored in local storage so that when I refresh, the information is still there. The strategy I want you to use is to update local storage on change for each text input field, debounce this so that you're only updating when the user has stopped typing for some time. So let's see. System's perfect. Use local storage, custom hook for it. Nice modular approach. Lodash we're going to use. Sweet. So you're going to also need to install the type dependencies, I think, to get this to work. No worries. Oh no, it's done that already. Nice. Wow. Okay. Rock on. It's getting smarter.
right? I got two updates yesterday, so
Yeah. They released some new features, so now you're not limited to 1 MB anymore with the image upload, which by the way is another strategy you can use to do this. But this is a pretty simple project. But you can also create your UI using a visual reference.
like
And yeah,
upload a
apparently
Figma or a
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I was never really a designer myself, so I never really messed with Figma. I just work with the code. But for sure, you can take that approach as well and enhance your documentation with that, and you'll probably get better results. So it reckons it's done it. Let's just test it and see. So Louis, fresh. Yeah, cool. It's a little bit of delay. So I don't like how the delay, but that's fine. We'll fix that later. So name Louise HVAC. Looks like it's going good. So the next step, you need to connect the completion. So this is the completion from your code in the system prompt. So let's just add this to the context. So I've referenced the lines with Command L and say, right, actually, let's just also check this in now. Add debounced persistence to local storage. Okay, so with this, I want you now, so take this system prompt process and let's connect our form to the OpenAI assistance API to get this done. Something's going to handle the API calls. It's going to go probably in the lib as well. Yep. Let's see. Yep, there we go. And we'll need to install the package. Let's get some. I'll handle the form. So it's going to add some component to display the results now. So it's got the form all on one page instead of splitting it up into components, which I don't like, and we would sort that out later. But for now, just for speed, no worries. It's also not the end of the world having bad JavaScript client side, like bad as in messy, not bad as in dangerous, but because that's all you're running on each individual client rather than on your server where it could scale into a disaster. Okay, sure. Okay, let's just see if there's any kind of working going on here. Company type, HVAC, audience, small business, so voice AI agents for cold outreach. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, you've got it backwards
Did I? Okay.
in your form.
Okay, we don't, not enough staff to do cold outreach or money. Okay, all objective, book a demo.
And
Cool.
your industry or company type, not the target industry or company type. That would be where the audience goes.
Aha, so we are oh, sorry,
Nope.
small business owners. This one?
Yes.
Yep,
That's
so
where you would
we
put
are
voice
a
AI.
voice. Perfect, thank you. Common objections, not enough
But the
money.
company's name is Louis HVAC, so I can understand the confusion there.
Aha, right. Louise voice AI for HVAC. Not enough money, so we will save you and make you far more than we will cost you. Not enough time will free you up from having to make phone calls. Additional information. Let's just leave that blank. Oh yeah, right.
You got
OpenAI
to
key.
API key.
Okay, so I'm going to go and just make a new API key, especially for this, on my second screen. Just bear with me a little moment. What's this issue with the Zoom controls covering everything? Just get to my dashboard. Perfect. API keys. Create new secret key. Demo test key. Create secret key. Copy. There we go. Now generate prompt. Looks like you're running. Okay. Okay, well, that's a concerning warning. Let me just read that again. Yeah, we do. We're just keeping it stored locally. And we would set up no cross-site scripting stuff when we do this. So there's some settings we can set in our content security policy and other stuff to make this secure. Noise. It's a different path every time you take me on this. Okay, right. Okay, accept. Generating your custom sales prompt. Having a bit of a long think, but it worked. Hello, and this is Louis from Louis HVAC. Here we go. And you can copy it to clipboard. Did it actually copy to clipboard? Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. So, but we would
It
need
did, but
to,
it doesn't look like it's using the system prompt or the call that
yeah,
I gave you.
yeah, we can fix that. I did notice that. So we'll update again. So reference this.
I'll actually go pull the central
We-
prompt out of that make automation and send it to you in Discord.
we choose the ones referenced.
Maybe if my entire system's froze up.
Right. We need the system prompt in OpenAI. So just have it focus on that. While it's happening, let me just see if I refresh this, does it save it? No, so we'll need to get that to keep the system prompt in local storage also. We can do that later, I think. It proves that you can replicate this quite quickly.
Okay. In your Discord is coming the system prompt.
Oh, okay, nice.
And you load that into the code and we should be golden.
Okay, actually, yeah, do that.
And then we're actually going to have towards the end of this section of video, we're going to have the uh, original sales call done with a basic prompt and then the sales call done with the enhanced prompt, and you'll be able to hear the difference.
Mhm.
I think John George was a fan of the improved outputs.
Big fan. It was striking. I was having trouble saying no. I was trying to mess with it.
My clients have always said the same thing. I have trouble saying no to you.
It's always a good sign. Okay, well, it's done that, but let's just have it use this instead. So actually, let's just have a look at what's in message. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's done it actually. No worries. Um, so only thing is the string is not, well, we need to sort out the string formatting. I see the issue, yeah. Formatting gets cut off. Yeah, it's like,
We also want to make sure it's using the 4.0 mini
perfect. Yeah,
just to
well spotted also.
just to avoid the excessive expense of 4.0 or oh 01. Although I kind of wonder what oh 01 would output given this system prompt. Like, I wonder how much better, higher value it would be.
Test it if you want. Okay, so now let's run it again.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's not. What did you send me actually?
I sent you the system. Use the user provided data to create a personalized version of the following script. Or not, it shouldn't be script, it should be like it should build out the prompt, the system prompt for.
Okay, so actually it hasn't got all of it. Okay, so instead of you haven't used the correct system prompt as in message. you need to direct the completion to modify what you've to personalize what you've got as the current system prompt in OpenAI. Yeah, okay, sure. Understand now. Exactly, perfect. It's fine. Yeah,
What are we looking at?
I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get it to keep the whole prompt with the placeholders in place. So
It's probably it's trying to read some of the placeholder markers as like some sort of code element.
keep in there without um, essentially this is ending the string but I want it to figure out how to properly insert these variables into there. And it's done it. So now the stuff that we're providing in the form will be entered into here. Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Go
There
ahead.
we go. So even though it's fairly straightforward and simple, and it doesn't have the example outputs that my original prompt did, that prompt should still get an improved output from any AI system you have writing emails, writing social media messaging, or making phone calls.
Mm, yeah,
I think that was somebody ringing my doorbell again.
yeah, we did actually lose a bit of the formatting from the message when you sent it, but see. Okay, so it's given an example. Okay, so the example, let me actually just check this in. Example you gave is far too terse. You want to direct the completion to provide as much context and examples for the output based on the sales methodology described early in the system prompt in. Let's just see. Okay, cool. It's good that it understood what I meant. Mm, mm. Okay. Let's try this one.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Okay, right. So that's
So then
cool.
you can
And
copy that to the clipboard and paste it into an
yes, indeed.
assistant, a GPT engagement, all sorts of things.
Yeah, and we can tidy this up. Like there's some visual stuff we need to fix here, like this needs to be white. And also, now that we've got this kind of functionality, you can extend it easily. So for example, we could add a tab here so that instead of entering stuff into a form, you could have another system prompt and have that modified. So you just like if you have an existing system prompt like I did, enter it in there, and then you can have another tab which is chat. So instead of doing this, you can chat to it, and we could build those out potentially. But yeah, there we go. I
The
will be.
possibilities seem almost endless.
Mhm. Yep. So we'll put this a version of this up so people can use it, I think, and open source it. And yeah, we plan to
Cool.
apply this methodology to a more comprehensive system in the future, which we'll also be building out live. Right.
And we'll put that live version and link in the description of this YouTube video, or in whatever platform you're seeing the video on. We'll make sure that we get a copy of the link in there. We could probably build out the automation of posting the video and combining it with the link in the comments, really.
Sure. Cool.
All right. Does
Okay.
that wrap up this particular project?
Yeah, I think so. I think
I
we're
mean, you
good.
said there's some design elements, but that's kind of
Oh yeah.
like
I mean,
personal preferences and stuff.
well, no, it's definitely needs to be polished up. So for example, these need to be white. This needs to be side by side with the prompt rather than on top, because that's not a very natural way of doing this. Um, that's pretty much it, really. Just for the
Absolutely.
basic just for the basic implementation. But I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, though, it is actually a personal preference. So chances are, if you give this boilerplate to different people, they'll build a different aesthetic based on it. So
Yep.
I'm happy
But as
we
long as the
satisfied functional
functionality
requirements. Exactly.
like comes out and it puts out that prompt, because like prompt engineering is the irony of prompt engineering is I think it's going to be the shortest career ever. Because like it became high demand about 6 months ago, and 6 months from now it probably won't be really necessary because we can create the prompts from prompts. So